Hey folks, this is Matt once again, and as you can tell, that is my least favorite films in 2011. Mine, not yours, mine. And the reason I'm sort of laying back here, kind of interesting background, and showcase my Never No Street Part 2 T-shirt. I am a fan of the movies, which I know some people are like, well, you don't have good taste if you like that movie. Well, tough titty. I like the shirt. You tell us Never No Street Part 2 with the school bus and there's actual fingers for the knives, not just the glove. But like I was saying, these are my 10 least favorite, not yours. There's probably going to be films you enjoyed that are on this list. You're not going to like what I have to say. This is the time where I get to unleash on these films. So if you don't like what I'm going to say, don't watch the video, shut the video off. These are my opinions. I'm not changing them. Deal with it. I'm not holding back. What's the point? Now, get to it. Start at number 10. For me, number 10 would be The Green Hornet. Now, this is a film when I even think about it, I'm like, why are they making this? Now, from what I understand, Green Hornet was popular because of one guy, Bruce Lee. People remember the Green Hornet because Bruce Lee played Kato. Now, you're not going to have Bruce Lee in this movie unless you freeze him. Well, he is frozen, but unless they unfreeze him once the economy gets better, because he's frozen along with Walt Disney and them till the economy gets better. If they unfreeze him, work him out a little bit, and then do some stuff, okay then. Other than that, the Green Hornet is just one of those things that's like, it doesn't really make a lot of sense why they would bring this guy to modern times. I don't find a lot of people who gave a shit about the Green Hornet unless Bruce Lee as Kato. And you're not going to have Bruce Lee. Instead, you're going to have Seth. This guy was a bad choice for the Green Hornet anyway. Now, granted, I didn't watch the Green Hornet TV show, but why would you have this guy, the star of films such as Knocked Up, among other things, starring in your movie? Knocked Up. He was doing an Observer Report. Seth Rogen. He was doing. I should say the name. Like, what are you talking about? Seth Rogen is what I'm talking about. Observer Report was great, but great. I'm not the biggest fan of Seth Rogen, but all he played was an asshole, and it was like one joke. He doesn't know how to do anything, but his friend Kato knew how to do everything. So much so that when you see his point of view, it's the Terminator. He's a normal human being. Why is he looking and seeing pew 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 like the Terminator vision? Is this guy cyborg? Is he an android? Is he a robot? No, he's a regular human being. But yet he's doing stuff, and they make it as if it's the fucking Matrix or something. He's doing shit that's like impossible, and I'm like, okay, you went from Bruce Lee, who can do stuff, to now the idea of Terminator vision, where he sees like the guns and they light up, pew pew pew. Just a very forgettable film. Wasn't funny. Uh, Forgettable film. It was a comedy that didn't work as a comedy. It wasn't funny. And the reason I'm not talking much about it is I've forgotten about the film. I'm not watching it again. I did a review for this film. It's on my channel. Check it out. Number 9 would be Hannah. Hannah is a film I saw where you had a girl being trained since she was born, sort of be like a super spy or something like that. Something to do with super soldiers. Arabana is the guy who teaches her, and she's out in the wilderness with him. until one day she's supposed to say she's ready, and then everybody's going to give her a mission to kill this one person who I think works at the Pentagon. I think Kate Blanchett plays her, the woman that this girl's supposed to kill. But this film was just insanely boring. Ultimately boring. I'm trying to look up who directed this film. Joe Wright. And this is a 7.0 on IMDb. A 7? Really? What is about this film that makes this worthy of a 7 out of 10? Which is pretty high marks, really. This film is insanely slow. Now, sometimes I like slow movies. Slow doesn't always mean boring. If you like the characters, if you're into the story, slow can be fine. This was not it. It's PG-13, so the action really doesn't give that momentum, that impact. This girl, Saoirse Ronan, what the fuck? Saoirse Ronan. Really nothing about her was special. Stuff about the script made me pause. Like, she's 16 years old, you've given her really 16 years of teaching, but yet you can't have one fucking photograph of the person she's supposed to kill. Like, you can't sneak back, take a picture of the girl, Kate Blanchett, when she's leaving, when she's going home, whatever. Take a picture to show to her, so that when she does get there, she lets herself be caught. Kate Blanchett, smart person does, sends a fake, like someone who has, kind of like her, different face, but like the red wig and stuff. Kind of an imposter. Totally different face. But of course, Hannah thinks it's her and kills her and escapes. Is in the middle of the desert, hops with this family, pontificates about her life and whether she should kill and this and that. And I'm like, okay, I saw this better in Universal Soldier, for fuck's sake. And it had better acting. I'm not kidding. Deathly boring. Action scenes that are extremely forgettable. You've seen these fights so many times. Oh, it's over already. There was nothing to this film. Nothing to this film. Nothing remarkable. Nothing memorable. 100% mediocre at best. Boring at worst. I'm sorry. Number 8, The Mechanic with Jason Statham. Now, I'm not a fan of this movie, The Mechanic. I did not see the original The Mechanic, but this story idea really was unappealing. I'm a fan of Jason Statham. I'm a fan of his action films. But I don't like the fact that you have this character who there is no reason why I should care about this person. Even by the end. I mean, you can make an uncaring individual to care for by writing or acting. The fact that I cared for Riddick at the end of Pitch Black shows, okay, this film was impressive to me. This film does not do that. What's sad is this is directed by Simon West, who's doing The Expendables 2. After seeing this film, I'm very afraid. Very, very afraid for Expendables 2. I really am. Because the first half of this film is about build up. The action only kicks in the last half hour. Okay. Jason Statham's character, of course, he's pretty much a hitman. Might as well call him that. But he just believes blindly that this guy he's known all his life, played by Donald Sutherland, is a traitor. He doesn't even look into it. He doesn't even doesn't even investigate it at all. Like, at all. Just ultimately believes it, goes up to Donald Sutherland, and Donald Sutherland is a character in a wheelchair. It's not like he can fight back against Jason fucking Statham. And Donald Sutherland, he's in a wheelchair. He doesn't explain. He doesn't say, I didn't do it. I didn't do anything. They're lying about it. Doesn't try to explain the situation of what is actually going on. No, just you know, go ahead. I'm like, what? You don't even try to explain to Jason Statham at all that you're innocent, that you didn't do anything, state your cause. No. And Jason Statham, he doesn't really look into it that much. He like doesn't buy for 10 seconds. Well, okay, I'll go for him, and then he kills Donald Sutherland. Would you find out he was innocent? Wow. Why should I don't give a fuck about this character anymore? Then Donald Sutherland's son, Ben Foster, uh, you kind of care about him more because his father's been killed, but at the same time, his character's he's a screw up. He just is going to find someone, doesn't know 100% sure it's this guy who killed his dad, but he's just going to kill him anyway, just because it's someone who, reminds him of someone that probably killed his dad. I'm like, okay, I don't really care about Ben Foster either. But if you had a pit between the two, you probably care a little bit more from Ben Foster just for the fact that he lost his father. But at the end of the day, you really have two good actors, Ben Foster, Jason Statham, two very unappealing actors. And then the training where Jason Statham trains Ben Foster because Ben Foster goes under his wing. And the training goes by very quick. So it's like he goes from nothing to all of a sudden he's very adept at it, and it seems like very quick, which is a big mistake as well. Then, for some stupid reason, he takes Ben Foster on a mission, even though this guy is pretty much still a newbie. And this is like a very dangerous mission, or hit, I should say. And you don't take this guy with you? That didn't make any sense to me. So, of course, there's a screw up. And you got like little bits of decent action. It's R rated. But at the end of the day, by the end, when Jason Statham, Ben Foster's going to kill Jason Statham because Ben Foster finds out that Jason Statham killed his father. And then you're like, well, of course Ben Foster is going to try to kill Jason Statham. You killed his father, who was innocent. But Ben Foster dies and Jason Statham gets away. I don't give a fuck about this character. Isn't that kind of weird? Maybe it's just me. I know it's not, because my friends felt the same way. Number 8, no, that was number 8, The Mechanic. Number 7, Red State by Kevin Smith, who I have just been disappointed in. I think the last good film he made was Clerks 2. Zack and Mary make a porno. Did not laugh. Again, maybe because I'm not the biggest fan of Seth Rogen. I think it was because it really felt like Kevin Smith was trying to make a Judd Apatow comedy, like a knocked up, super bad, or that kind of comedy. He really tried hard. I'm like, Kevin Smith, you have your own voice. You have your own comedy. You don't have to try to ape Judd Apatow to try to be successful. In my eyes, you were successful. But then that film flopped and he got very depressed. He smoked a lot of weed, a lot of weed, a lot of weed. Cop Out. I know when I first saw Cop Out, it's because I saw the worst reviews ever. I went in with the lowest expectations. I got some chuckles out of it. I'm like, oh, a victory. That film is not in my collection. I had the Blu-ray. I sold it because that film does not hold up. You compare that with other Kevin Smith films, Mallrats, Clerks, Chasing Amy, Dogma, Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. This film is poorly written. He didn't write it, which was unfortunate. He should have written it. Tracy Morgan, that he was very, very bad and over the top. The only thing I liked was Bruce Willis and the Harold Faltermeyer story. But this isn't that movie. This is Red State. So this is his second to last film because he's going to do one more film, a hockey movie, and then Kevin Smith's going to retire. I know my friend Joe, Movie Guru, he said the same thing that I thought, in a comment. Maybe it's a good thing Tim Smith is going to retire, because if he's going to pull out movies like this out of his ass, he should retire. Red State, where you get these three teens, they answer an ad to have sex with someone, an older woman. They get drugged, and all of a sudden they're in this church. Michael Parks plays this minister, this preacher, who hates gay people and all this stuff, very about a vengeful God. And then to the point where not as bad as a Hostel or that kind of movie, but a little bit felt that way and a little bit. And then it ends up with John Goodman, who's part of these agents who are outside, and mainly the last half hour or half of the film is a long shootout between the agents outside and the preacher and his men and women inside. I agree with Joe. This is not a horror movie. It's advertised everywhere as a horror movie. Don't give me, well, what he's doing is horrifying things. Mm-hmm. So's Kiss the Girls with Morgan Freeman. You would not call that a horror film, though, Kiss the Girls. There's a lot of stuff where that's at. Dead Bane with Don Johnson with the white supremacists and the guy at the beginning killing this poor guy just because he happens to be black, shooting him, boom, boom, boom. That's horrible. But Dead Bane is a action movie. There's a lot of stuff like that. This is not a horror movie. It is cheaply shot. Yeah, I know it's cheaply shot, but Clerks looked better. And that was like a 20-some thousand dollar film. This was like $3 million or whatever. Clerks looks better. Mallrats looks better. I think Mallrats was around the same price. Maybe, I don't know, but it's a much better movie. Red State was just insanely slow, insanely boring. Michael Parks was good, but when he talks and talks and talks, he goes on for like 10, 15 minutes on his preach to the choir, so to speak. I'm like, okay, Kevin Smith, I know you're in love with your dialogue. This is too much. And Quentin Tarantino, you can love this film all you want, but you're the same guy who made Inglourious Basterds, so it makes sense. You like talking. First half hour of that fucking movie is just two people talking. Everybody loves that movie. I'm sorry, not me. But Red State was just boring, boring, boring. No likable people in it. I'll be honest, I'm actually one of those guys. I didn't mind John Goodman in the film because I like John Goodman, but even his character isn't written that well. Like, not to the point, like, there's really no one to root for. The kids are too much of assholes or horn dogs. The preacher and them are bad guys. The agents, they're given the call to shoot anybody who comes out, even if they're a victim, because they don't want anyone to know that they screwed up because they shot one person, some dumbass sheriff did, and they don't want any witnesses. So there's no one to root for. And you have a horrible ending where they hear the siren, they come out, and they go, oh, it's the, what's that called? The new something. The Rapture. They think it's the Rapture. They hear the siren, so Michael Parks, they just lay down their weapons and walk out. And then it cuts away to John Goodman talking to two guys and explaining the ending of the movie. Really? You don't just cut away to explaining the ending. Not seeing what happened. What happened? Well, I headbutted him. Okay, and then what? Well, that siren was actually pot smokers. Oh, see, Kevin Smith, the pot smoker, he made the pot smokers the heroes of the story. How ironic. Cute. Give me a break. I mean, this piss poor ending, piss poor movie, piss poor writing, piss poor characters. Number 6, Sucker Punch. I know I have friends who like this film. That's cool. You be my guest. I hate this film, Sucker Punch. Yeah, sometimes it looks good. But I can see 100 movies that look good. The Matrix films look beautiful. Constantine looks great. Cowboys and Aliens, that film looks great. District 9 looks great. A lot of films look great. It has good effects. The story sucks. The characters suck. The music sucks. You don't care about the lead girl. The opening with her stepdad, and how dumb is this? Okay, let's think about this. This stepdad gonna try to rape you. Gonna try to rape your little sister. She gets a gun. She points it about this far away from the guy. Let's say this far away from the guy. Misses. Misses. From this far away? Somehow goes over here, hits a light bulb, and somehow ricocheted and I guess hit her sister. Guess. Because you never even see the bullet hole. You never see blood. It hits the light bulb, which is like up here. But like she's down here, and somehow I guess it ricocheted, went around the turn, went around her ass, up her thighs, and then into the girl. You don't know how, because it's PG-13. So somehow she killed her sister, and then has a chance to do it again. No, drops the gun, runs off. She could explain to the cops. You know what? He was trying to rape me, rape my sister. No, just this is like the rest of the movie. Open your mouth and talk. Even when behind her, when she goes in the asylum, they're talking behind her back. She can hear it. She can. Don't tell me any different. About how they want to lobotomize her and fuck her up. Why doesn't she talk? She has all the mind faculties to go on all these fucking things, but not talk. And then the movie doesn't make any fucking sense. I'm sorry. Don't try to explain to me. The stupid storytelling, trying to be Alice in Wonderland, Wizard of Oz bullshit, was a failure in the writing. Especially when you have not one, but two false realities. You have the asylum. You have false reality one, when they're dancing, they're dancers. And then when she dances, you get false reality two. And the rest of the film, you're in those two false realities. So you never know what's happening in the real world. Until the end, where you kind of get, well, this room was burned and this guy has a mark, but you don't know what the fuck happened in real life. And the reason I point that out is, if we don't know that, I don't feel any sense of jeopardy. Any sense of what the fuck the point of this is. Other than it looks cool. I can play with my dick and that looks cool in my eyes. Doesn't mean anyone else wants to fucking see that. I can jerk off over myself. It looks cool to me. Doesn't mean anyone else wants to see it. There's no story. There's no substance. There wouldn't be, but that's a bad. But my point is, there's no jeopardy. So you get into false reality one. They're dancing. You don't even know which characters are real. By the end of the story, you only realize that out of all their group of friends of the lead girl, that the lead girl and the girl who escapes, those only two you know were actually real. Are we to assume that those other girls were fake? Were they part of her personality? Were they ever there? They never show up again? They get shot in the false reality. So I guess they were fake. Where did they come from? Were they part of her personality? We don't know because they never do anything. It's just thrown in there. And then when they're doing their stuff with you need these 5 items and she has her samurai sword and fucking up samurai robots. Or they're on the train, they're fucking with the robots and there's a bomb. Or they're fighting a dragon. There's no point to this. Meaning there's no jeopardy. Number one, it's all CGI. Well, a lot of it's CGI. And number two, there is no threat. Number on Elm Street, there's a threat. You die in your dream, you die in real. The Cell. You get trapped in that, your mind's fucked up for good. Like coma and shit. Dreams deep. Even Tron, you get put in Tron, you're probably gonna be fucked up if you die in there. Because you're actually in there. But here, okay, the scene where, well, you don't even know what she's doing in real life. Because False Reality 1, she's dancing. False Reality 2, she's, what was the one? With the World War, the fighting the steam things and the kind of like World War II stuff. Say she got shot. What would happen in real life? Answer me that. You can't because they never do. She stops dancing. No. That's not reality either, folks. The dancing part is not reality. And then the more Phantasmo is not reality. So say she gets shot or the dragon breathed fire on her. Nothing would happen. And you say, yes, it would. And I'm asking, what would happen? Would she be caught? Would she be stabbed? Would the orderly put her in the chair and electrocute her? You don't know. Because there's no risk. There's no point. There's no story. It's random item, random item, dance, random item, dance, Here's a random item again. And even some of them are fucked up because they go after that poor baby dragon. They slit his throat, take his fucking, you might as well say, like the stuff that makes fire. And then the mama dragon is pissed. I'm like, I don't blame her. The dragon did not do anything to you. And you killed a baby dragon who was just sleeping. And you killed him in cold blood. You bitches. Dragon sick 'em. I wanted the dragon to eat the shit out of their coolers. Their culos. But it wouldn't matter anyway, because even if it did, there'd be no threat. They wouldn't die. If that train blew up, I mean, even like there's a scene where they just go back to, I guess, still false reality where this cook, they try to get his knife. That's what I mean. You're going from a false reality to a false reality. You get my point? False reality of trying to get the knife when the girl's dancing, and false reality of the dragons. My point is you never know what's happening in reality. What is the risk? What is the risk of this situation? You don't know. You don't know. Do they get caught and put in the hole? Do the orderlies give them shock treatment? Do they give them drugs? You don't know. That's my point. There's no risk. There's no jeopardy or double jeopardy. Or final jeopardy. And then it ends with her getting lobotomized. And the other girl escapes. And you don't know anything about this other girl. All you know about with the false reality. But it was a false reality. How much of that was actually true? From what we understand, most of these characters didn't even exist. This girl that leaves at the end, she could be a serial killer, ice pick killer, culo killer. She eats lesbians for breakfast. You don't know. That's what I'm getting at. Sucker Punch sucks so much as a story because there is no risk. You don't know the jeopardy. The lead will not talk to save her life, but she'll go in these. Duh, 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 I'm fighting a dragon. Wee! I'm like, open your mouth and talk about what the fuck is actually happening. My God. Tell Carla Gugino, whatever the fuck her name is. She seemed like she would be willing to listen. Investigate. I hate that. I don't understand why people like that movie. I really don't. If you like the movie, cool, but I don't understand. The movie has no story. And the songs, every song in there is remixed in such a fucking shitty fashion, it kills the song. White Rabbit, Where Is My Mind from the ending of Fight Club. They are just fucked up so much in these horrible remixes that makes you want to puke. Why couldn't they get the actual songs? No, they had to do this shitty ass remix of all the songs. The movie can kiss my ass. No story, no threat, no point. That's why it was a fucking bomb. You don't give a fuck about any character. Why should I? I don't even know what the risk is. I don't even know which character is real. And the lead is a fucking bubble-headed idiot. 2 feet away less. Oh, I missed and I killed my city, you dumb bitch. 5, X-Men First Class. I know a lot of people enjoy this film. All I found was a boring movie. It's over 2 hours long. Yes, I know a lot of people like Magneto and Professor Xavier's, Charles Xavier's rapport. I don't see any rapport. I don't know. I don't see it. I mean, I don't. One guy wants peace, one guy wants war. I've seen that done many times. Pretty much every buddy cop movie is kind of the same thing. One's a little bit more crazy, one's a little bit more sane. Watch any buddy cop film from the 80s. That's kind of the same thing. Lethal Weapon. But I'd rather see Lethal Weapon. And I'm sorry, I don't like the douchebag from fucking Wanted who played Charles Xavier. To me, this movie had nothing to offer. First off, I don't care about the characters of Xavier and Magneto. That's not why I saw X-Men. I will be honest, I saw X-Men because of Wolverine. Maybe Cyclops, maybe Storm. I like to see the early exploits of Cyclops and Storm and Jean Grey, and maybe we could actually see Cyclops kick some ass. And if they, the thing is, this film makes no sense in the fact that it says it's a prequel, but it makes so many mistakes in that effect. It almost seems like it wants to be a reboot. But if that's the case, why didn't you just reboot it and then have Iceman and Cyclops and Jean Grey and Storm and Colossus and whatever the fuck you want in there? It makes prequels. It sucks as a prequel because it made so many mistakes. Whether it be little bits like, saying, "Oh yeah, Magneto and Xavier created Cerebro," but you find in this film that is not the case at all. Mystique was Xavier's stepsister. That's almost like saying Wolverine is Xavier's dad. That is literally as what the fuck is possible. And just, like, I don't care about the Cuban Missile Crisis. I hated history in school. It was the most boring fucking class. I hate history. I'm not doomed to repeat it because I don't want it. Fuck's sake. I work at a video store. I don't think I need to know history at a video store. Unless the history of movies. Like the previous X-Men movies. Seriously, the reason I don't like this film is there's not one... Okay, first off, X-Men... At the end of the day, you are seeing an action movie. Correct? There's not one memorable action scene. The X-Men that they have are the definition of lame. Havoc, Banshee, Angel Salvadori. Really? Really? Angel Salvadori, a girl with butterfly wings and spits acid. Havoc, who's basically, I know, is the brother of Cyclops, but again, it's just a substitute for Cyclops, only from the eyes, it's from the chest. Banshee, shit, your breath stinks. Go fuck yourself. And really? These are our guys? The one interesting guy is Darwin. And I'm sorry, you cannot excuse this fact. Watch the film again. Darwin, I read this verbatim. That Darwin, the character of Darwin, makes him pretty much indestructible. In fact, I should just find the actual thing, but I know I did my review and people are like, well, no, Darwin's this and Darwin's that, but no. If I look up the actual thing of Darwin, if they actually have it in this fucking thing, because they probably won't. He happens to be black, yes, but he was an interesting character because he could adapt to what's around him. He could adapt to what is near him. That's what was interesting about his character. Plus, I like the actor. I've seen the actor on the TV show House MD. Yes, he happens to be black. And the reason I say that is because he has to be the first mutant to die. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Now, here it is. His body automatically adapts to any situation or environment he is placed in, allowing him to survive possibly anything. The exact nature and limits of his powers have not been revealed. I repeat, allowing him to survive possibly anything. And he's the first mutant to die, and he's the fucking black guy. And this is right before Kevin Bacon says, "You're about to be enslaved," and looks right at the black guy when he says it. I kid you not, watch the movie again, he does it. You're going to be enslaved, and he hones in right on the black guy. It actually pushes in on the black guy. And the first mutant dies the fucking black guy, and it's a mutant named Darwin, who, I repeat, to survive possibly anything. Not Angel Salvadori, not the two white hotties over here. No, the black guy, the interesting character, the actor who is actually good, and they kill him after saying he's going to be enslaved. If that's not racist, I don't know what the fuck is. It's so blatantly obvious. I'm like, no one bud the shit out of this. Yes, I understand why people bud the shit out of Transformers too. I understand that. I understand. Believe me. Gold teeth. I understand. But this, you don't be enslaved and you look right at the black guy, and he's the most interesting character. His character can survive possibly anything, and he's the first to die just like that. Can't. There. Give me a break, folks. And Kevin Bacon with his on again, off again accents. He's German, then he's fucking Southern, and then he's an ending where the big moment is, I've lifted a submarine. Lift my dick and I'll be impressed. He lifted a whole fucking bridge in X-Men 3. A film a lot of people hate. But the big moment is he lifted a fucking submarine? And you have Beast, who looks like my friends say, he looked like a Thundercats reject by the end. And his big problem is his feet. Oh, my feet. Now, the thing. Beast in the comics, he was like not a mongoloid, but he was like a caveman type of guy. He was like really big, and he was bald, and he was like he was like a caveman type of guy. He looked different all around. This guy, the only problem was his feet. You know what you do, Beast, instead of injecting your fucking serum? You worry about your fucking foot, like, oh my god, my feet! Oh my god, my feet! Shit! My feet! My feet, my feet, my feet! You get a fucking sock, and you do this. You see this, Beast? You see that? And they even have spares. You buy a 10-pack of socks. Buy a pair of shoes. You can get them $5 at the fucking discount store. You get them used for $5. You're a scientist. You could probably make a fucking pair of shoes, let alone a pair of socks. You see these? Not my dick. See these? They're called socks. Put them on and then stop bitching about your fucking feet. Seriously? That was the big problem? My fucking feet. Oh, my feet. No one can see them. You're not going to be walking outside fucking barefoot. Okay, they're a little bit larger. Make a bigger pair of fucking socks. You're a scientist. I'm sure you can knit a fucking pair of socks. Or I'm sure someone can make you a pair of socks. A 10-pack. Get some big shoes. Like Shaquille O'Neal shoes. No, instead you do this dangerous serum. Really? That's how it happened? Oh, my fucking feet. Get a fucking socks. And like Charles Xavier getting paralyzed. Just, really? That lame? Just bounce off a bolt? Oh, shit, I'm fucked. I guess I'm paralyzed. It was so off the cuff, I didn't even notice it for like a full minute. Or like naming X-Men. You know what? You should be called Magneto, just because. You know what, Xavier? You should guys call yourself like the X-Men, just because. I mean, the score is extremely forgettable. I don't even remember the score. No action scenes are memorable. No characters are likable or memorable. The one guy, the black guy who dies, even though his characters could survive possibly anything, and he's the black guy, so he's the first mutant to die. Why the fuck is the young Magneto killing everybody but the guy who killed his mom? Like, Kevin Bacon kills his mom, but yet he's able to crush the helmets of these two Nazis, but he cannot do anything to Kevin Bacon. Oh, he's not able to control his power. He's able to crush these two Nazis' fucking helmets. And how the fuck did he get out of this situation? It just went from then to, just all of a sudden out of there. Also, I thought Charles Xavier and Magneto, I thought, like, then Charles Xavier, wasn't he kind of bald and still walking by the end of, like, Wolverine? Or did he have hair? I don't know. But, like, wasn't him and Magneto looking at, like, Jean Grey and such? Looking for other mutants? They never did that in this. Did they? Did they possibly do that in this film? I don't know. They don't sure look like fucking. They did in X-Men 3, but. See what I mean by the prequel not being an actual prequel? But if that's the case, why don't you just reboot it and have actual decent heroes instead of the rejects? That's what I mean. You have heroes that are rejects, and even the bad guys. It's like, let's have another version of Nightcrawler. I don't give a fuck if it's in the comics. It's still pretty lame to have yet another. It's Nightcrawler, but he's red. I don't give a fuck if he's in the comics. People want to say it's in the comics. Do you really think they based the comics? Was this the original X-Men in the comics, folks? For those comic enthusiasts? I don't think the original X-Men was Banshee and Angel Salvador with butterfly wings and fucking Mystique talk about not being viable to the source material, which a lot of people bitch about X-Men 3. That's a big thing about X-Men 3. It's not like the source material. But this is? I'm just saying, if you don't bitch about X-Men 3 for that, this film should not be in the past. It does the same thing. It does. Only X-Men 3 is shorter, has more action, has better characters. Wolverine by himself is better than any character in this film. I'm sorry. He's better than Havoc and Banshee and Mystique, the Slut, and fucking Angel Savadori. And that's not like the comics either. But people bitch about the X-Men 3. It's not like that here. And I'm sorry, I know people like when I bitch about the plot, about how Kevin Bacon, he's gonna have it so that nuclear bombs follow all over. And, people are saying, man, you need to read more comics. Mutants are immune to radiation. Really? Seriously? They actually are immune to radiation? Like a nuclear explosion radiation? I can't imagine. I can't imagine that. I don't know. Especially, I can't imagine Iceman or fucking uh, Rogue and a Paquin walking radiation and being absolutely fine. She's a mutant. She should be fine. I can't imagine Cyclops Storm just walk into a radiation cloud and be like, oh, it's okay, we're mutants. Plus, there's that notion of the actual nuclear bomb, the explosion, the boom, kaboom. But I guess mutants can survive that. I'm sorry, I don't care what comics you're reading. I don't buy it. I don't buy that shit. I'm sorry. Oh, nuclear bomb, boom. Storm, they all survived it, boom. And even that guy Riptide, which sounds like somehow G.I. Joe. It's basically a version of Storm. Only you can create My Storm kind of did the same thing. That's what I mean. This is a lazy fucking movie. It's a boring fucking movie. It's a fucking shitty movie. In my opinion. Number 4, Assassination Games with Jean-Claude Van Damme. Very, very forgettable. I don't like the fact that this film looks like it's filmed in piss yellow. That someone pissed on the screen for 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I don't understand that. Why does the fucking film quality on this camera look better than the actual fucking film? This at least doesn't look like it's piss yellow throughout the whole entire fucking thing. Piss yellow. And Jean-Claude Van Damme has the same face. I'm like, I miss the Van Damme that actually smiles. I miss the Van Damme that had emotion. Bloodsport, Cyborg. Yes, I do. He has more emotion in Cyborg than this fucking movie. Fender! Fucking Time Cop. God, what happened, buddy? I don't know. And this whole thing where, like, he's an assassin, Scott Adkins is an assassin. There is barely any action. And you can't say budget. I'm sorry. Dolph Lundgren, he did a film called Command Performance. That's low budget. That's a direct-to-DVD film. That has a better pace, better action, and more stuff to it than this movie. It's filmed in piss yellow. There's barely any action in the fucking film. I don't understand why some of these films like this film get praise or get the pass. Action-packed? What action are you talking about? The 30-second tiff that Van Damme and Scott Adkins have? Where Van Damme pulls off like 2 little old-ass 6-shooters? They're supposed to have back and forth rapport is horrendous. Horrendous. They have no chemistry. The humor sucks. Their chemistry are about as good as Rooney Mara and Jackie Earle Haley. What movie is that from? Look it up. Fucking terrible. Makes you want to spit at the screen. It just, it's a forgettable film. That's why I put it up there above X-Men First Class. Because I don't remember anything on Assassination Games anymore. I did a rant on it, so you want it more in depth, it's on the channel. But it's such a forgettable action movie. I'm Van Damme. I want you to come back. I know you're in Expendables 2. Stop doing this face. Get a fucking smile. Get a blowjob. I don't know. Get some life into you. You look like a fucking corpse walking around. God forbid he'll be okay, you know. But I'm saying, stop acting like a fucking corpse. That's my problem, Van Damme. Every time I see you in the movie now, you act like a fucking corpse. It's the best way to put it. You act like a fucking corpse. And most of your recent movies nowadays, you're just a corpse. Fucking zombie walking around. I don't know. I don't remember. Watch Bloodsport and remember how you acted. Tip boxer. Fuck's sake. You acted like a human being, not a corpse. Fuck. Number 3, Rise of the Apes. Rise of the Planet of the Apes. I know a lot of friends like this movie. That's cool. I didn't. I don't know how else to put it. I did an hour-long rant, which was too long, I know, but what more can I say about Rise of the Apes? I don't care about the story. I was not. A lot of people were touched by the story. I wasn't. All I saw was a bunch of CGI apes running around. That was the movie, folks. I'm sorry. I know the guy who played Caesar, well, played him, but they're trying to get him for an Oscar nod. Now, granted, by this time they haven't said that he has. Andy Serkis. If he does get an Oscar nod, bullshit, my dick. Sorry, he does not deserve an Oscar nod. I've seen 100 performances better than that. Jack Nicholson in The Shining, Sylvester Stallone in Copland, Tim Robbins in Jacob's Ladder. That's just off the top of my head. Fucking Randall Tescott in Uncommon Valor, for fuck's sake. Patrick Swayze in Ghost. A lot of better performances than that shit. I'm sorry. I saw shitty CGI I did not like. If I say shitty CGI, people will be pissed at me. I'll just put it this way. It's CGI that I did not like. I don't like it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't like it. What do you want me to do? Lie? I don't like the CGI. Sue me. Sue me. Oh, you just bitch about... Yeah, bitch about CGI because it's the main character. The main character is CGI. Just like I don't care about Gollum in Lord of the Rings or that little shithead in Harry Potter. Harry Potter, whatever the fuck that thing is. Or I don't like Gollum. Gollum looks fake as well to me. It does. I'm sorry. I think Paul in that movie Paul looked better than this guy, which they give a lot more praise to. I don't care about the story. It made no sense to me. The story made no fucking sense to me at times. These scientists who are so dumb they can't know it's a fucking pregnant chimp until way past due, boom, gave birth, and it might as well just put a fucking diaper on itself by the time and knew how to eat a fucking banana by the time they actually figure out there's a baby in there. Such smart scientists. Oh, we're doing tests. This blood's a little bit weird. Fuck it. Maybe she's pregnant. Did you not check? Gee, wow, you guys are hardcore. You'll do tests even if you don't even give a fuck if they're pregnant or not. Pregnant, you don't do tests on them. Wow. Humanitarian of the war goes to James Franco. Yay. Oh, but his dad has fucking Alzheimer's. Okay. And I've seen that done better too. Someone who's affected. And regarding Henry, fucking Harrison Ford. I never watched that movie about a guy who gets affected, but that's a much more heartwarming, touching movie. Or is it Harrison Ford with his Ritz tractors than this shit? I'm sorry, I don't see what's touching about. Okay, I took Caesar home. We put in 100 references to the original Planet of the Apes with blue eyes. And, oh, Caesar's playing Little Statue of Liberty. Oh, this Charlton Heston on the TV. The guy at the fucking primate shelter saying it's a madhouse and in a madhouse. No. Did you pause on me, you dirty human? Where the fuck was? Like, how many references do you need to throw in there before I puke? And Caesar, what was so special about his performance? He acted like a monkey. You acted like a fucking monkey. Is that worthy? Oscar worthy? Give it to Virgil in Project X. I saw this shit in Project X, another 20th Century Fox film. Watch Project X with actual chimps. It's like the same fucking story. They do an experiment on chimps, a man and chimp. They go together. It's like the same fucking movie, only that's forgotten and this film gets all the praise. I'd rather go see Project X. It's like the same fucking thing. Except the second half. Well, the second half, they revolt, escape from their cages, like in this film. They get out of their cages and they try to escape. And they actually go back into the jungle or was the forest in this movie. Only you didn't. That's the thing. I'm watching. I'm like, this fucking Project X did this with Matthew Broderick and Helen Hunt. They're doing tests on apes. One's part of it. Matthew Broderick, James Franco. You give much more connection with Virgil in Project X. I'm sorry, you do, in my opinion. And then you find out that they're doing horrible tests. Only this, you are happy to be a human being in Project X because Matthew Broderick and Helen Hunt, they get together, they go against the grain, they show that humans are good, and they help them escape, and they're also escaping from their cages, just like they escape from their cages here. And they run amok in the facility or in the city. And ultimately, they're in a they get away, like they do here. Like it is a remake of Project X, not fucking Rise of the Apes. Whoever made Project X should get fucking sue somebody. Watch Project X and then watch this movie. That's what I would suggest. And that's what pissed me off because Project X gets forgotten, completely forgotten. And that's a great fucking movie compared to this. I'm sorry. Did not even have the budget of this movie. It had actual chimps that made me feel something. Not this digital fakery. I can't even get invested in, not all the time, but a lot of times. There's a lot of times where I can't get invested when something looks fake to me. It's as real as they could be. Yeah, as they could be. Doesn't mean it's real to me. Deal with it. It's the main character. And I don't care about Caesar anyway because he bites a guy's finger off because, lo and behold, there's some guy who he barely knows get into his own car as if he's going to steal the car, breaking the shit out of his own car. The guy so happens to be pissed. Gee, no wonder. This guy who he doesn't know, John Lithgow, gets into his car, breaks the shit out of his car. So the guy's like, what the fuck? I'm on my way to work. You're in my car. You're breaking shit. What the fuck are you doing? He's not even pushing the guy or punching the guy. He's like, what are you doing? Like, yelling at him. I would be yelling at him too if it was my car. Do you know your neighbors all the time that well enough? No. There's a lot of people who don't. And then the guy gets his finger off. Bitten off. I'm like, yeah, the thing is dangerous. And a primate shelter, I don't give a fuck if that's real life. That's just silly to me. A primate shelter. Get him into the fucking jungle. Jungle or zoo? Which that kills me. The zoo. Even the fucking zoo is all CGI apes. The fucking zoo is all CGI apes. And they look fake to me. I got glasses on. Maybe that's why. I'm sorry. It takes me out of the movie. That's why I keep mentioning it. It takes me out of the movie. It takes me out of the emotional core. It just, oh, I'm watching special effect. I didn't watch Clyde and Every Which Way But Loose. Well, any which way you turn. Right turn, Clyde. I'm still in the movie. And then stupid stuff like, okay, James Franco doesn't pay these guys off to get his chimp until when it's too late, of course. Which I'm like, I thought of this before you, and you're the scientist? Considering you need a smart ape for your test to continue, you have a smart ape right here in the primate shelter. A goes to B equals C. No, F as in fuck you. More like fuck me for watching this. It's a stupid storyline. Why should I care about Caesar? He bit a guy's finger off who did not deserve it. And then he goes to Prison Oz. The Oz version of Primate Shelter was a fucking CGI ape. His nails basically buffed by a bitch ape. Female bitch. And all of a sudden, just in 5 seconds, he has the gorilla under his mind control. And all that, and Mr. Harry Potter, the little shithead from Harry Potter. You're from Harry Potter? It's just, I'm like, wow, like 2 or 3 guys are assholes, and then we're all, screwed. I know someone said, man, it's not racist that the black guy is the bad guy. Okay. But is it kind of weird that the main bad guy is the black guy? People are like, well, that's not racist. Okay, fine. I'm pushing it with that. I can't help it. It's like, it's just 20th Fox. I saw 2 movies with them. X-Men First Class. The one black guy in the entire fucking movie is the first guy to die, even though his character is to survive possibly anything. And then the next film I see is the one black guy in the film has to be the black guy. Go figure. At least he's not the comic relief, I guess. The action scenes didn't engage me. The emotional core, what emotional core? I've seen this done so much better. That's my point. And this film just like unanimous, can't even say the word because I'm too stupid. Insane praise. And I don't get it. I don't see what's so great about this fucking movie. That's why it's number 3. I don't see what's great about it. Emotion? This film is a fucking ripoff of Project X. And that was done so much better. It really, I'm just saying, this Project X, that's Project X. And just CGI apes that tape me out of the movie. A main character by Caesar that I don't give a fuck. Wow, 2 or 3 people pissed on your parade. And you're an asshole in the first place by biting a poor guy's finger. Oh, but he was mean to him the first time. The guy has kids. If I see a giant fucking ape where my kids are at, I'd be a little bit like, what the fuck is this? Get the fuck away from me. It's James Franco's fault for having a big fucking ape, not watching him when he could, give me a fucking break, man. If it was a fucking alligator, then people would be like, oh shit, yeah, kill them fucker. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't care. I don't like it. Movie sucked. I don't feel any emotion. I don't know what's good writing about some of the shit. Oh, there's an ape that's pregnant, but no one noticed it till like 50 hours later. Prison Oz, where the guy Caesar has mind control powers. He just lets the gorilla out. 5 seconds later, the gorilla's like, what would you like me to do, George? What? What? The fuck? Oh, we're gonna fucking wipe out the entire fucking city. We're gonna do mass hysteria and shit. People are getting hurt. And I'm like, it was like, for what, 3 assholes? Yeah, 3 assholes are gonna fuck up for all of us. Again, I saw this shit done better in Project X. That's just me, though. I'm the only. Yeah, that's just me. Just me. I don't care. I'm not taking him back. I hate that fucking movie. So number 2, you have Fright Night, the remake. Oh my god. Oh my god. Definition of pointless. Utterly fucking pointless movie. There's no point to this movie being made. Well, other than money. Anton Yelchin was a horrible Charlie Brewster. He was a prick. This guy, his friend, the Ed character, Christopher Mintz-Plasse, is begging for his help. And the guy's like, you know when my life got better? When I stopped being friends with you. I'm like, wow, this guy's a fucking asshole. And he's our main character? Shit. Let alone being boring as fucking hell. Michael Biehn wannabe motherfucker. This guy sucked in this movie. He was a horrible lead character who was boring. He barely had emotion. And then he's a fucking douchebag. Wow, thank you, remake. You made Charlie Brewster a fucking douchebag. I wanted him to die and the other character, Ed, to be the hero. The nerd to be the hero. God forbid. That would make it your own fucking movie, but no. Yeah, Imogen Poots in Boots, and whatever the fuck her name is. Sounds like a porn star name. Like a fake ass name, Imogen Poots or whatever the fuck. Poots and her coots. And her cooter, I don't know. Colin Farrell is like a Twilight wannabe in this fucking movie. He is. You look at him, all you need to do is add the sparkles. That's all you need to do. And he's from fucking Twilight. No bullshit. Fuck Colin Farrell. Hey, bud. You got any Brewsties? Is Budweiser okay? Sure. Got a lady over there. I'm like, fuck you, suck my dick. You want to suck on something? Suck these. Rather touch myself than watch this fucking movie again. Horrendous CGI. And I'm like, why? If the original did not need CGI, this film doesn't need it either. Makes no sense. That's your updating? Instead of this effect that actually still look good, we don't look CGI that looks so bad, it's out of date by the time it's released. When he's changing his fucking vampire shit, trying to be like, it's almost like he's a fucker from Jennifer's Body, the bitch. Colin Farrell, he just looked horrible. Horrible. The way he was shot was all fucked up. I mean, the night scenes. I ran this for free on DVD recently because I wanted to give it another shot because, yeah, I saw it. It was a bootleg, but I rented it. Picture quality. You still can't see half the shit going on in some of these night scenes. Especially in that ripoff of the Children of Men. Remember that great scene in Children of Men during daylight times where Clive Owen and everybody, they're inside the car, the camera's inside the car, and you have like this 360. They try to do that in this film. Only thing is, it's so fucking dark you can't tell what the fuck's happening. You gotta like squint your eyes. And this is on my fucking TV. Big fucking TV. I was gonna show it, but fuck it. And just Peter Vincent's character is horrendous. He's a fucking. He's just. Hey, love. Oh, fuck you. Oh, fuck you. Really? You should not be called Peter Vincent. You give Peter Vincent a bad fucking name. That's my problem. You give Peter Vincent, the great Roddy McDowall, you give his character a bad fucking name. You should not be called Peter Vincent. Peter Footstick. Who just happens to have a backstory that his parents were killed by vampires. What, are you fucking Jack Crow now? No, that's James Woods, motherfucker. He did a much better job than you. Mr. Doctor Who. I don't give a fuck about Doctor Who. Best thing about Doctor Who is the fucking opening from the 80s. The creepy ass opening music. They creeped the shit out of me when I was a little kid and saw him, PBS. And then I stopped watching after the credits because I didn't give a fuck about the show. I just watched the opening. Ooh, creepy, and then I turned it because I don't give a fuck about Doctor Who. I don't care. It was, and then the ending. I won't set myself on fire, which is like bullshit. He'd be dead. And I love how Peter Vincent just pulls out of his ass. Oh, I have the stake, and if you put it into his heart, anyone who's been turned will turn back to the human. I'm like, you tell me this now after I killed my buddy Ed? I just stabbed my buddy Ed in the heart. And now you tell me you have a fucking stake that if I put into him, anyone who's been by him will turn back to human. Thanks a lot, buddy. You could have told me that before so I didn't have to kill my friend Ed. Now Ed's dead, motherfucker. I mean, the special effects sucked. The acting sucked. Colin Farrell was never intimidating. Was never scary. He looked like a fucking reject from Twilight. Basically, you take the guy from Twilight if he's 5 years older, 10 years older. That's Colin Farrell. Wow, big deal. Whoop. It looks like the shitty ass cover of Near Dark, which they ripped off Twilight. Ending that's fucking lame. Peter Vincent doesn't do shit except get his ass kicked. It's just fucking lame. I reviewed this film, so you can check that review out if you want to know more of my take. And number one, of course, is The Turd, The Thing Pre-Make, The Fuck Stick, The Thing 2011 Pre-Make. Fuck that movie. Fuck that movie. I don't need to see CGI special effects out of a fucking video game. Yes, I mentioned it's from Dead Space. And people are like, well, Dead Space was inspired by The Thing. I don't give a fuck. Dead Space is not The Thing. You want to make these? Make a Dead Space movie. Oh, but the CGI enhancements. You know what? Enhance my dick. So when you keep saying, open your mouth, I just stick my dick through the TV into your fucking mouth. Let's bring a fucking girl from America. Well, technically it's Alaska, so it is still America. But let's get her from over here, all the way over here to drill, and she doesn't even do her job. She doesn't do shit. So it's like useless and pointless. And like, it's such a fucking cash cow, desperate way to make money of how they just have no inspiration. They just say, whoa, it's the Norwegians. And it's like, you don't even use the Norwegians for really anything than cannon fodder. That's really what it is. The shit that you could have done, like the guy killing himself, you don't do anything with that until the last 5 seconds. Who don't give a fuck about one character. There's no suspense. I was in the theater, all I did was try to be as loud as possible to make your fucking eardrums explode. It's the peekaboo monster, the Jack in the Box. That's what this monster was. It was a Jack in the Box. Jack in the Box. Jack in the Box. Peekaboo, Jack in the Box. It wasn't scary. It was like, fuck. Fuck. It is fucking shitty. And that's it. And people are like, no, it's a prequel. Yes, technically it's a prequel, but it feels so much like a remake. I call it a pre-make. When I first saw that trailer, bitch about my friends, I call it a pre-make. You wanna know why I thought a pre-make? Because I thought a pre-cum. You don't want that in your mouth. Because I don't want the taste of this movie in my mouth anymore. I'm not talking about this movie again unless I do something with my friends and we all talk about it together. But no characters I like. CGI of a fucking video game. Make the effort. You want to impress me? You want my fucking money? Well, you got it. But if this film was a hit, I would not have paid money for it. It's my own fucking fault either way. Fuck it. But you want to impress me? If this film went for it like they did in the 80s, that's the thing. In the 80s, 82, they didn't know the shit would work. But they worked their asses off. They put the effort. They put the time. They put the dedication, the heart and soul into that product. And that's why that film is going to live. It's lived from 82 even to today. 30 years. By 2012, it's going to be, which is like, 30 years. Think about that. John Carpenter's a thing. 82 to 92. 92 to 2002. 30 fucking years. John Carpenter's a thing. 30 fucking years old. And that film still works. It is going to continue to work. This film is going to be forgotten by next year. Probably already by now, but especially by next year. But John Carpenter's thing will live on. You got suspense. You got effects that they spent their fucking... They worked to death on. And that's the thing. A lot of times you don't see that. In my eyes. It's shit. Okay, boom, it's on my computer. Let's move on. It's just... And why this pissed me off so much is this is what we got instead of a sequel with John Carpenter and Kurt Russell and Keith David. That was ultimatum. A few years ago, John Carpenter wanted to make a sequel with Kurt Russell and Keith David. They said no. Because they want to make this. And this, I watched it, I'm like, this is what we got. This was the product. Instead of a film, and I know people are going to say, well, John Carpenter, he would use CGI. Really? Watch Ghosts of Mars. A lot of that is model work, folks. Which is why a lot of people badmouth that movie, but I appreciate Ghosts of Mars. Does John Carpenter actually try to use model work? There's a lot of practical effects. Watch Vampires. Watch Vampires. With James Woods, they're pulling those vampires out with that contraption. They're burning up in practical explosions. That is practical. John Carpenter's Vampires, take a look. Even Ghosts of Mars, there's a little bit of CGI here and there, but there's a lot of model work. Like, the guy really is one of those guys who really likes to use... He even says in interviews he likes to use that kind of stuff, practical stuff, more. Okay? I think he would make... And with Kurt Russell, they'd probably get Rob Bottin back. Which the guy isn't doing anything. I don't know what the hell he's done for the past 10 years. That'd be fucking awesome. I'm like, okay, dude. You've been in this business for a long time. Let's see what you can do now. With like 20 years, with a... But no, we get this. How do you say it's a remake? It is a prequel, but when you have a scene where you have a guy who gets his face attacked, thrown to the ground on the side, who you might as well call Windows, and the same scene with another character as a flamethrower, it's jammed, and they gotta change, which somehow Mary Elizabeth Winstead knows how to change a fucking flamethrower. How the fuck does she know that? Do they teach that in that kind of school? Oh, here's how you do a flamethrower. This is how you unclog a flamethrower. Like, really? And then she uses it like a pro. I guess she learned. I guess you can use a flamethrower just like that, you know. And then she fries windows. Might as well be windows. And just like, um, I don't know. I did such a big rant. I don't know what more to say about that fucking movie. You know, but they didn't do the blood test. Yeah, I know, because if they did that, they know they'd be yelled at. So yeah, they did something different, but it's fucking silly. My teeth fillings. Open your mouth and suck my dick. That's why every time they say that, that's what I wanted to say. I'm like, really? Your teeth? I guess there was no form of X-ray back in '82. I guess, even though without that title card, '82, you would not have known this film took place in '82. Um, I don't know. Just there's so many other things, but I hate talking about this movie now. I ranted on that movie so much that one time. I'm sorry, mediocre special effects, no likable characters, no suspense. I'm sorry, I don't buy this shit with the monster. Oh, it's new. It learns. Yeah, how convenient. It learns by the end of the movie. Yeah, that's convenient. I'm like, so you're saying this thing never did anything else until it came to Earth? Never did anything else. Oh, but it's learning. Um, if I went to Europe, I've never been to Europe. I've never been to, let's say, Afghanistan. Someone coming from a planet to Earth would be like me going to Afghanistan. But if I go to Afghanistan, which again, I repeat this, that would be as alien to me as an alien coming to Earth. If I'm going to sneak around, I'm not going to be like, hey, hey, how's it going? That's what I get. I'm not that dumb. And plus, John Carpenter, like they said in their documentaries, this thing has lived for probably thousands of years. I think it knows a thing about stealth. Plus, wouldn't that make it better for suspense other than a Jack in the Box? Peekaboo! I see you! Give me a break! It's been out there for thousands of years. Even John Carpenter and Rob Bottin, when they made it. Fuck's sake. John Carpenter's thing was a remake. Yeah, but they became its own movie. Especially when they based it on the short story. Here, it feels so much like John Carpenter's movie without any of the good stuff. Like the effects and the acting and the suspense and a capable store or anything. The sense of dread, paranoia. They don't have that in this movie. It's a shitty version of John Carpenter's film. That's what it is. And this is what we get instead of a sequel. Oh, but Steve from LA sucked. Maybe they would learn from their first. If you hey, it's Steve from LA, then maybe be like, well, we learned our lesson, so we're going to actually go with the sequel and do this. Fuck's sake. That means they get a second chance at it, folks. And the fucking alien ship that just happens to be okie dokie. And I'm like, why didn't the alien just do this in the fucking first place when he came out of the fucking ice and crawl away? Fucking. When it first hit the first person, it could have stolen something, driven away. With the alien ship where its fucking core looks like something out of fucking Tetris. I see the blot and I keep hearing that fucking music. It looks like fucking Tetris blocks. Why the fuck does it look like this? Kurt Russell wannabe, I guess, was a thing because she burns him and they add a fucking alien sound effect, but then you're like, well, wait a minute, how come he doesn't change? How come he doesn't fucking do like all the others do? Oh, but by this time it's learned. It's on fucking fire! If it's on fire, I think he'd be shooting things out of his ass. You know? Like every other thing has. No, it just burns like a regular human. It's almost like as an afterthought. It really feels like, it really does feel like they meant it to be that he was human and that she would be like, oh my god, I burned an actual human. I was wrong. Which would have been more interesting. But then, well, we can't do that, so we just added a sound effect of the thing. It really does seem like that. They just added it after the fact. I know people say, but she talks about the earring. Okay. But then, how the fuck is it that he has a fucking flamethrower and he gets turned, but Mary Elizabeth Winstead has nothing and she gets out of there alive? Does that make any logical sense? Caruso Wannabe has a fucking flamethrower with him, but he got turned, but she has nothing, but she's able to. Like, what the fuck was the guy doing with the flamethrower? Had it up his ass? And then the dog that just comes out of nowhere at the fucking ending. Because the only one time I saw a dog, it got killed in the fucking shed. I saw one dog throughout the whole movie. And I swear it did not look like the same dog as the dog I see at the end. And I saw that dog killed that was trying to bite through the fence. Just like Jar Jar is the thing. And that ice still looked fucking fake. I don't care if it's real, it looks fake. It's just so fucking shit. F you, as in fuck you. Bad boy. What you gonna do? I'm gonna end this fucking shit. But if you made it through this, you're a trooper. I can never make these things short, but I just go on a fucking rampage. If you don't like what I have to say, then you should not have watched the whole fucking video. You should have stopped it. But instead, you went like an idiot and kept going. So if you want to say, ooh, I wasted my time, I'm fucking glad I wasted your time because you're a fucking dickhead. I'm glad I wasted time. You can't get it back. It's mine, baby. It's my time. Your time is mine. I own you. Eat it. Like, eat my dick. But if you don't, in seriousness, if you don't agree with some of my choices, that's fine, in all honesty. We all will agree to disagree. That's how the world works. That's how it goes. You're not always going to agree with what I say, and vice versa. That's how it is. That's how it is. That's how it goes. It's all good. I'm not changing my opinion, though. You want to make your worst? Be my guest. But this is my list. Deal with it. And if you're like, well, why do I care what you say? Then why watch the video? If you don't care what I have to say, you shouldn't have watched the video in the first place. Which makes you a dumber guy than me. So, I win either way. I still win. But either way, thanks for watching. Take care. And then maybe next time I'll come up with my top 10 favorite movies of 2011. That may be shorter because I don't really go on a rampage. Oh, I love this. Anyway, thanks for watching. Take care. Ciao.